Hello viewers, we are here again for another beautiful episode. Thanks for joining us the last time, and today we have another beautiful topic to discuss, and I'm here with a very wonderful young man who will be introducing himself to us. He's an educationist, and let me just give him the floor so he gets to introduce himself. So can we meet you, sir?
Thank you very much, ma'am. My name is Mr. James Ekechi. By God's grace, I am a teacher. Teaching is my profession. Thank you.
Okay, that's true. Teaching is your profession, and have known you for quite some number of years, and it's amazing to see the passion you put into teaching, and I can say it's so encouraging. And I would like to ask, some time ago I stumbled on someone on Facebook. I saw someone commenting on your post on Facebook and saying she was once your student years back. You taught her in secondary school, and here is a very young adult. I was wondering, how long have you been into this teaching profession?
Okay, thank you so much. By God's grace, I've been teaching since 2008.
Wow.
This is my 16 to 17 years in the teaching field.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's amazing. And then I know you are a science teacher. I see you have a lot of passion for science subjects, and I have seen a lot of people tell me they've passed through you in secondary school, and they have a lot of good things to say about you. So thank you so much for all you've been doing in the educational sector. You've been wonderful, and I trust the Lord that this is just a starting point for you. In years to come, we'll hear of greater things, and we'll see the great heights you would have climbed. So we look forward to that, and we're happy to have you on our program today, and I know it's going to be very, very interesting. So today we have a topic that says corporal punishment. Is it still a relevant parenting tool? That's flogging, caning. Nigerian English, flogging a child, caning a child. Okay, that's corporal punishment. Is it still a relevant parental tool? So
Okay, thank you so much. Corporal punishment cannot be considered obsolete. It is still important in the training of children, but there should be a balance.
okay.
We don't see it as a way of suffering or abusing, rather a way of correction.
Okay.
I am not, I don't subscribe to the school of thought that says it should be removed entirely.
Okay.
Because I believe that from time to time, a child should be disciplined. And the corporal punishment is one of the ways of disciplining a child.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Okay, when you talk about this corporal punishment of a thing, most of the countries, we have some Western countries that already have stated that corporal punishment is illegal. You don't get to flog a child. It's seen as child abuse. And even here in Nigeria, I can tell you that we have schools in Nigeria who actually ban corporal punishment. They will tell you that no teacher is allowed to flog a student. And in this aspect, we are looking at both the school and the home. I've come across parents. I've witnessed recently. I witnessed a scenario where a parent came to a school and was beating up a teacher, and his reason was that the teacher flogged his child, and then he really it wasn't a funny scene that day. So even in Nigeria, it's becoming an obsolete thing, or let's say is now a worrisome topic, and you hear people saying it's good, it's not good, it should be eradicated, it should not be eradicated. But I just want us to really have a deep talk about it, looking at the current situation in the country, and looking at the youth, the children that we're bringing up nowadays. Is there any difference between when corporal punishment was not a topic, when it was just a thing, and now that is a topic? The children can even hear you say corporal punishment is good, it's not good. And recently my daughter was telling me that there's a school she would have loved to go, but they flog. And I'm like, when they flog, they can't just start flogging you. You must have done something wrong before anyone decides to flog you. But that's to show that it's now a topic. it's not something to worry about because it's something that is being discussed. So what do you think? Can you really pinpoint any difference between when it wasn't a big deal and now that it's becoming a topic?
All right, thank you so much. The truth is that times are changing, and we have to bring a balance and be moderate in whatever we do.
Okay.
I want to point out that corporal punishment is not just flogging. There are other ways of effecting corporal punishment. You can ask a child that misbehaves to kneel down. That's the corporal punishment. You can ask the child, maybe carry your, in a school setting, carry your bag, something like that. Just find a way. But even if you want to flog, you can as well do that with moderation and ensure it doesn't inflict injury on the child. But today, I discovered by virtue of research that we need to balance things, not just using corporal punishments all the time, because that could lead a child into being, maybe he or she gets used to that. Is after all, you only flog me and that is it. And the corporal punishment again affects the emotional state of the children. So I think balancing, using it the right way, not crossing the boundary between discipline and the suffering, is nice. And as well, talking the child through when he or she disobeys or misbehaves is the right thing. I am of the opinion that there should be a balance in the use of that. Maybe we won't want to dispense disciplinary action. If you are flogging, I'm not saying that it should be taken away entirely. Even the Bible said that we should spare the rod and spoil the child. Although we're not talking about that you should kill the child, but it's talking about a kind of instilling discipline. Because I know that corporal punishment, the result is immediate.
Okay.
It's immediate. When a child does something, you flog that person. In the essence is, what it means, don't do this again. But some people don't take it the right way. And that's why maybe the child may not understand. They say, this teacher hates me. For instance, I am, by God's grace, I'm a teacher, and I know throughout my years in teaching, students, some of them, they respect me, not they fear me. Why do they do that? They know anytime I scold them, that I mean the business. And anytime I raise cane to flog, they know this man is not playing.
You must have done something, something very bad.
That is it. Just my presence alone makes them to adjust.
Okay.
So I don't flog all the time, but when I use the stick, the cane, I use it very well. And I receive the results, the feedback I need. So corporal punishment should not be eluded, and as well, it shouldn't be the main way of punishing or correcting misbehavior. Thank you.
You're welcome. So there's something I would like to know. At what level or at what stage do we introduce the corporal punishment? What I'm trying to say is, you said it should be balanced, and then that means we don't get to flog a child all the time for what they've done and all that. That is, there should be a particular time or a particular thing that should warrant flogging or corporal punishment. So how do you determine when you are doing it at the right time? When the child has done something wrong, I can just say, oh, bring your hands, and I flog. What exactly should be the yardstick? You say we should not eradicate it. Okay, we should balance it. We should use it appropriately. What exactly or how exactly can I know that this is the right time for me to bring in this?
Okay. Thank you. The right time to engage corporal punishment is when you have spoken to the child on a particular thing he or she have done wrong, maybe several times, and you are not receiving results. You can now administer a little punishment to correct that misbehavior.
That is after you've told the child over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I would also like to ask, at what age should we introduce corporal punishment? At what age?
Wow.
Is there a particular age where it's effective, and is there a particular age when it stops being effective?
Okay. Thank you. For me, I don't see it that there is a particular age to say, but this is a personal opinion.
Okay.
Like my son, the truth is that my son, at his age, he's getting to 2 years.
Okay.
And there are some things he does. If I talk to him, he will look at me and smile and repeat it. But once I say, give me that cane, he will just get adjust, and he will adjust and keep calm.
Have you flogged him before?
I have.
Okay.
Even last night I did. So when I lash him or spank him, he will just run to me, hug me, and stay and just calm down. So that is to say that that issue of flogging has a message is passing across to him.
Okay.
And talking about at the age you will stop flogging, I am also of the opinion that when someone is growing, you reduce the rate of punishing. That person has the right to decide what he or she does, and also he knows what is good.
Like what age?
If I have a teenager,
Okay.
if I have a teenager, you know, all things being equal, once my child becomes a teenager, especially at the age of 18, I cannot raise cane and flog him or her. I can't do that, but I know that I still have other measures to curtail his or her excesses. Thank you so much.
To share an experience I once had too. You know, how I was asking about the age is that I noticed that there is actually an age where corporal punishment gets non-effective again, and it looks like the child is not responding. Personally, I'm not I don't really believe in flogging. Okay. It's good. It's good, and I have, while my children were growing up, I had 2 beautiful cane. I bought very long one, and I kept it. And each time anyone misbehaved, I would just go bring it out and say, I'm going to flog you with this cane. But I found out that I actually did not use the cane, maybe all through, maybe in 5 years, maybe once or twice, if I can remember. But the cane was always there. And the sight of it alone was very dreadful for them. Once I bring it out, everybody will go and sit quietly. And then my second son, I remembered when he was very small, you know, I just felt he was fragile. He looked fragile, and he had some little health challenges. And so I just, not really pampering, but I was just caring and just trying to avoid anything that would hurt him physically. So I don't flog him. And then he has not even seen me flog others, but he would always see me bring out the cane, and I would say, I will flog you. And one of the days, they were playing around about, I said, everybody go sit down quietly, I'm going to flog you. And he didn't know I was hearing. As I was about stepping out, he told them, he said, don't mind her. She will not do anything. She's not going to flog anybody. That's how she used to talk. Every time she bring out the cane and say, I will flog you, but she will never flog. Let's continue doing what we're doing. Oh. And the others were like, no, she will flog you. He said, no, she will not flog anything. When I had this thing, I was so angry. But just remembering what you said, that you don't just flog as if you are abusing or you want to melt at, you know. In that anger, I would have picked up the cane. I said, why did you say that? But that would have been bad. So I let him be. I pretended like I didn't hear. And then I began to watch out for when he was going to do something that really warrants flogging. So I knew he will, because he would always do something. And then I waited. That was a Saturday. The next day was a Sunday. And I was looking out for opportunity. And a little misbehavior, I brought out the cane. I flogged him so mercilessly. I flogged him. He cried. I flogged him. He said, I won't do it again. I said, good. And after that day, whenever I bring out the cane to say, I'm going to flog, he will be the first person to go and sit down. So that really means that corporal punishment is, for me, I also support the notion that is a good parenting tool. But then there's something I would like us to talk about. In our own time, when we were growing, you know, they call this new generation the Gen Z. Yes. I think there is a bit of difference between our childhood and their own. If you sit down with these children, you'll find out that they are so smart, they are wiser, they know better, they think deeper, they ask more questions. Probably they are outspoken and they are bold. Because when I was growing too, most of the things they say now, think deeper. I thought deeper too. There were some things I knew, but out of fear, I can't just express myself. We could not express ourselves out of fear. But these children now express themselves. They ask questions. They say their minds. They just do everything they want to do freely, without fear. So I'm beginning to think that the little lapses or the little difference we have or we're experiencing is because corporal punishment is now being withdrawn or being watered down.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm wrong, or being watered down. So when you look at these children, there isn't anything they're expecting you to do. There isn't any serious punishment. They feel there are no punishments for their wrongdoings. So I don't know if I'm right, or at least with your experience in teaching and all that, I'm talking from the home front. I don't know if I'm right, or if you can throw more light on that. What could be the reason? Could it be from corporal punishment, or could it just be something about this generation? What do you think?
Okay, thank you so much. I want to start by saying that all this boils down to the family.
Okay.
The family. Because why I say this, my former place of work, if you come there, you see this branded Gen Z you're talking about.
Okay.
Some of them come from a home where they do nothing. Even when they do something, I mean, they don't do any house chores. Even though when they misbehave, they are not being...
No discipline.
No discipline at all. And that alone make them to misbehave.
Okay.
Some of them came to school with such attitude. You know, they see us teachers as maybe one of their domestic staff.
Okay.
When I discovered that, I said, no, this cannot happen. There was a scenario that happened. One of the boys in SS1 then, very huge, then with head. He told one of my colleagues, he told him, I don't know what transpired, but there was an outburst. He told the man, after all, your salary is 50,000. That is, I can pay you, I can place you just like my gate man.
I can place you just like my gate man.
Okay, the boy said,
The boy was just
okay, the boy said, is he working?
Savings now.
He has his savings now. He's in a home. He's
very
came
wealthy.
from a very
wealthy
rich
home.
home. That is, he was speaking
Passing
that.
by
And I
going
was
to
just
my class.
passing by entering, going to my class. Just that's when he whispered into my ear.
What did you say?
I said,
I took up
what did you say?
Immediately I came, he said, Mr. James, I'm sorry.
Immediately I came, he said,
So you see, it's all about if parents, just like we say we have Gen Z, we are in Gen Z generation, we also have Gen Z parents.
Okay.
Yes. Some parents that they don't care about their children well-being, their character, all they care is just give them food, what they want.
Money, whatever they need.
So because of that, it seems as if there is a gap between what we used to have
And what
we have today. So,
So, and I don't think corporal punishment can even bridge that gap.
no,
Okay.
cannot bridge the gap. The only thing, like I said earlier, is to balance it,
Okay.
bring a balance.
That brings me to what I really have in mind to ask. If corporal punishment cannot bridge that gap, that means when you look at it generally, corporal punishment is no longer an effective tool or a relevant tool. Because if such a child is in a school with another child that is being disciplined at home, you know, these are two different people. It's and then you introduce corporal punishment. I think it will not be so effective because this other person is not understanding or is not really flowing with why he sees it as punishment. He sees it as you melting at a punishment, abusing his rights or abusing him, physical abuse. Why this other person is seeing it as discipline. So when you have these different people coming together and mixing up in the society, corporal punishment might no longer be an effective parenting tool. So I just would want to know, you know, and I know our viewers will also want to know, okay, what can we use to replace corporal punishment, or how can we bring it up to make it balanced such that it will be very effective for everyone, both people coming from a home where they are being disciplined and people coming from homes where they are not disciplined at all. should we now say corporal punishment, okay, since it's this way, should we just leave it out? Should we find a way to enforce it? Or what can we use to replace it?
Thank you. I don't think there is a need to replace it with something.
Okay.
Rather, to ensure you bring in corporal punishment to a moderation, and as well bring in maybe trying to talk the child into doing the right thing. You know,
Okay.
corporal punishment cannot be overemphasized.
Okay.
But the rationale behind it is doing it the right way,
Okay.
using it the right time,
Okay.
and not making it the major or the only means of correcting a child. So that is the point. Just like I cited instance, that day I was passing, I was not with any cane.
Okay.
But because of they have known me as a disciplined man,
and that you would discipline.
And I would discipline.
That means he wouldn't have told, if you were the one, he wouldn't have said what he said.
No, he wouldn't have said that.
Okay. So what is this? What do you think could be the problem? Is it that he's just respectful, or he feels, oh, Mr. James can flog me if I misbehave, or?
Okay, it's not only flogging when you misbehave. I still have other means of
punishing,
correcting
okay,
a child, correcting a child. So but when I investigated into the matter, I discovered that the issue was not really from the child,
okay,
but my colleague.
Okay.
Are you getting why did I say that? You know, some teachers sell themselves to the students.
Okay.
So they now lose that respect.
Okay.
So that is the reason. Even that boy, he hardly respects the parents because of how the parent, I'm telling you, how the parent pampers him.
Okay.
And other ones. So it's all about how you carry yourself. If you want to be a disciplinarian, it's not by flogging, it's by your in fact, your words. So if parents help in training their children that way, I don't think it will be reflecting the negative way to the society. Okay.
Dear viewers, I want you to do something for us. I just want you to go to the comment section and type, would you want anyone to use corporal punishment as a tool for correcting or instilling discipline when your child does anything wrong? Also, for yourself, do you think corporal punishment is an okay parental tool, a tool for parents to discipline their children? Would you yourself apply corporal punishment? Because I know a lot of parents, just let's know what you feel about this too. Because if you ask me this question, I will tell you with my full shares that corporal punishment is a goal for me. It's one of the things I would pick up when need arises. But I'll also tell you, for my spouse, someone like my spouse, you dare not touch any of his children. You dare not. You dare not. He will tell you corporal punishment is a no-no for him. There are other methods he feels you should use. He believes dialogue is better. And then over time, I have also learned that dialogue could be better, and also corporal punishment could be better. But there are stages in a child's life where there is need for proper discipline, where you have to make the child know that there are punishment, consequences for wrongdoings. And at the stage in life, because when they are little or when they are growing, a toddler, especially a toddler, you know, some people have children like between the ages of 3 and 5, and they will tell you he doesn't know what he's doing. She's still small. She doesn't. At that age, they have understood what they are doing. They know what they are doing. And sometimes when you punish such a child, they know that that's the consequence. Especially when you melt out corporal punishment, you should also explain. And say, I am doing this. I'm giving you these 6 strokes of cane. I'm doing this. I'm asking you to kneel down because you did this and this and this. And I would not want you to repeat it again. And this is the consequence of what you have done. But I also did a little research and found out that 70% of the parents we have currently will tell you that they don't think that is the right way. And they want to prove it to you using psychology and all the grammars and all the likes. So that brings me back to this same question. Let's assume the government wakes up tomorrow and say corporal punishment is now banned in Nigeria, just like it is in other Western world. What do you think we can do?
Okay, thank you so much. I think if that is the case, if that becomes the case, that means the office of guardian counselor will be upheld.
Okay, that means they will have to put in more effort to beef up the guidance and counseling units in the schools, in this community. Okay, and if you look at the kind of children we have, nowadays, and youths and teenagers and all that, if there are no immediate consequence for their actions, do you think it would bring about a societal decay?
Of course.
Much more than we're experiencing. Currently we have a lot going on. That's a topic for another day.
Of course, it will.
Okay.
It will. I think one of the ways to also ensure that children are called to order or corrected is by using a kind of maybe denying them some privileges.
Okay.
Denying them some, just like we are saying, corporal punishment should not be eliminated, and it shouldn't be the main thing too.
Okay.
So, but we can as well curtail the level of moral decadence by using
denying them some things, some little privileges.
For instance, I say covenant. Covenant is my son. I say you are not going to watch your favorite channel if your homework is not done.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
By the time he discovered that I'm very serious about it, he will run and fix that homework before coming. So, something like that.
So if that's the case, that means, because I'm beginning to think about something. In the Western world, I can't state clearly that they are coping. I don't know if they are really coping. I've not spoken with anybody there to say, how you coping with child upbringing without corporal punishment? I have not. I know in Africa, that's a hay game in Africa. But for the Western community, I know that it's not allowed. So I would have wanted to know, how did you cope? But I have this feeling that there should be other ways, because I've thought about it. I said, what if the government comes up and say, okay, we want to ban this, and then we all agree that let's ban corporal punishment. What are other ways? Dialogue. I'm looking at dialogue. I just got an idea from you depriving them of some of the things they are used to, and saying you would not be allowed to access this if you don't do this. I think these two could work. And to just round it up, just like you said, you mentioned earlier, there should be a balance. There should be a balance, especially in our schools. I found out that in some schools, some teachers abuse that privilege of holding the cane. Like my children's school, I think not everyone is allowed to flog.
Okay.
Flogging is just restricted to the head teacher and some senior management. So that is, if a child has done anything wrong, a teacher can't just pick up the cane and flog. You have to report, and they look into the matter, and if it warrants corporal punishment, that should be done by the head teacher or anybody assigned by the head teacher. I think that's good. That's also going to be a good one, because it's been abused. It's been abused, and people just pick up children and flog. I once had an incident like that when my son was in primary. A teacher knocked him heavily on the head, and I can remember it was a very serious case, because he began to develop some health challenges. And while probing deeply, I found out that it was from the knock. I had to go to the school and talk with the teacher, and they apologized and all that. But corporal punishment has led to the death of, at least I've had 1 or 2 stories where people just malhandle children in the name of corporal punishment, and then the child's life is lost. So there should be a balance. So can you please just help us to throw more light into that perspective, explaining what should be the balance, what should be the limits, how should it be done, what's the proper way, what's the best way?
For that, by God's grace, my years in the education sector, I have come to understand that there are some parts of the body where you don't flog a child when you want to use corporal punishment.
Okay. Some parts of the body.
Yes.
Okay.
You are only permitted to flog a child on the palm.
On the palm.
On the palm, and you have to be very careful on that so that you don't inflict any flogging that inflicts injury on a child. It's no longer
should not be hard.
Yes. Okay. It is now an abuse.
Okay.
You are not, as a teacher or an educator, you are not supposed to knock a child
on the head with your bare hand,
or flog a child on any other part of the body aside
the palm. Good.
So if we take
what about parents?
Even as a parent, yes, even as a parent, anything you do to inflict injury on your child is child abuse.
Abuse, okay.
I remember something happened while growing up. Anyway, let me share.
Yes, please share.
My elder brother was, he was something else. But today, he's not a disciplinarian. He was something else. You hardly see him at home. One of the days, he went swimming. He came back. My mother sent him on an errand for the family. He went swimming. He came back in the night. When he came back, my mother waited and she was worried. She had to go to the market, buy other things. He was sent to buy foodstuff for the family. He went with the money. We didn't see him again. So when he came back, my mom was busy chopping okra. With that anger in her, she just threw the knife. And the knife hit him on the back and gave him a cut.
Wow.
I know that he still have a scar of that on his back. So it was out of anger that she did that.
And he stopped swimming.
No, he didn't stop. He didn't stop.
He still went back.
My point is, when you as a teacher or a parent is trying to melt up corporal punishment, you should not do it with anger.
Okay.
Do it with the mind of correcting that child and not to inflict injury on the child. So that is what I'm talking about. And again, it shouldn't be done. Corporal punishment should not be used all the time. Talk to the child. Just like we mentioned dialogue. Talk with the child. Tell him or her, look, these are the consequences that will arise if you do something like this. But if you do it this way, this will be the positive outcome too. So I think flogging or any other form of corporal punishment should be done the right way.
And that's on the palms, like
and
you
the palm,
said.
that's the flogging.
Because I know African parents, they don't use palm. You flog the child, kick, beats, and most times, I think most of us have scars. I really don't have, but I know a lot of my friends and people who have scars on their body from corporal punishment. So I claim corporal punishment, but I think that's child abuse.
Again, like I was saying, if you use corporal punishment as your major tool of disciplining a child, you may make that child to be hardened.
I see.
And once the child becomes used to your flogging or your so-called discipline, there's nothing you say he or she will adhere to. I say, after all, you flog me. It happened in my place of work. He said, he did something wrong. I said, why did you do that? You just stretch. Okay. I didn't ask the person to stretch her hand. She just said,
just flog me.
And turned.
Oh, so that's so true. That's so true. A child can get so used to flogging that they become so hardened, and then the expected results would not be achieved, and everything will be a waste. And I think that's the point where it can really be marked or nailed as child abuse, because at that time it's just the person at the receiving end is not feeling it anymore, and then you are doing it out of anger or something, and then no results are achieved. Okay, thank you, viewers. I would like you to share your own personal opinion about this topic. I really want to know, because I would want us to really look deeply into this. I think we are still going to repeat this topic,
and I would like us to say what we feel about it. Should it be eradicated? Should we still hang on to it? It's the African thing, and we are known for it. And you hear African mothers, you know. And then it's just it's something that is marked to Africa. Everybody believes African parents beat and scold and shout and all that. Okay, so I would like to know your view. Do you think we should still hang on to corporal punishment, or should we find other ways? Should we introduce other ways? And then what would be your reaction if you get to hear that, oh, my child comes out from school and says, a teacher flogged me for doing this and that? Some parents don't even want to know what happened. They don't even want to know what the child has done. They just tell you it's a no-no, you know. So I would like to hear your views. I would like to hear what you feel about it. We just told you what we feel about it, and we'd like to hear yours too. We want to know what you do feel about the whole thing, and then so that in case anything comes up, we can all what we are trying to achieve is better parenting. Better parenting. Yes, that's what we are all watching out for. And both the person flogging and the person saying they should not flog, everybody is actually looking at better parenting. I feel that's the best way to bring up my child. But we are in a society where we have a mix of all these things, and we would like to hear your view about this. Thank you for joining us today. Once again, we are so grateful to have Mr. James with us, and he's a renowned educationist. He's also an evangelist. He's an evangelist, and I know he's a disciplinarian. I've known him for quite a long time, and one way or the other, I just found out that any student that comes around him behaves differently. Yeah, and I am grateful to God for the gift of someone like you. I pray that the Lord will continue to strengthen and help you. And then any other time we call, we believe that you would answer and you show for us. Thank you for sharing your view with us. Thank you for sharing your own personal opinion, for dropping hints that really helped. I've also learned one or two things, and I'm happy. Thank you so much. Do you have anything to say to us before you go?
Thank you so much, our viewers. I want to round up by saying, please, especially if you're a teacher and educator, you want to discipline a child using the corporal way. Please be very sure you know the medical history of the child. Because I would have been a victim of that when I joined my former place of work. I didn't know that this boy, although, you know, some children can be provocative. This boy, he's a sickle cell child, and I didn't know. He would be disturbing in the class and all that, and I was moved to flog him. I dealt with him only for my head to call me to order, say, oh, come to my office. So my point is, please, why flogging? Remember, do that on the palm, and as well, do it with what? Moderation. With care.
With a genuine motive.
Good. No matter what, even if you're asking the child to kneel down, please let it not exceed the normal.
And like you said, it should not be the first thing that comes to mind. It should be out of, oh, I've used other method and it's not working. Okay.
So that is my input for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We hope to see you again next time, and we'll be so happy to read from you, to know what you feel about this, what you feel should be done, and how you feel it should be done. Thank you. We're waiting so we can also learn from you. Thank you. Take good care and see you next time.